Hello and welcome to News Now. I am Deji Badimasi. Just when Nigerians were beginning to heave a sigh of relief that the Boko Haram insurgency may be nearing an end owing to the ceasefire agreement reached with the federal government, suspected members of the sect have reportedly kidnapped 60 women in Adamawa State, northeast of Nigeria actually. Now 40 of the women were reportedly abducted now were from Waga Mangoro village, while the remaining 20 were reportedly abducted in the Garta area of Adamawa State. Now, according to eyewitnesses, the insurgents stormed the villages in motorcycles in the early hours of Saturday morning, burning down houses and abducted the young women. The attackers were also said to have carted away food items, domestic animals and household items belonging to villagers. Meanwhile, the Adamawa State government says it cannot confirm the incident because it does not have access to the area at the moment. If confirmed, the incident could deal a deadly blow to ongoing negotiations between the Nigerian government and the Islamist militant sect to free more than 200 schoolgirls abducted in April. The negotiations are taking place in the Chadian capital of N'Djamena. Before now, there had been hopes that the Chibok girls would be freed this week, but no word has yet filtered in to that effect. At least 5 people were killed and 12 seriously injured after a bomb went off in a crowded motor park at Azare town in Bauchi State Wednesday night. The State Police Command has confirmed the incident, saying the scene has been cordoned off. No arrest has yet been made, while investigations have since commenced. No group or person has claimed responsibility for the attack, but indications point to Islamic sect Boko Haram, which has carried out similar attacks in the past in Azare. Now, Azare, as a matter of fact, is the second largest town in Bauchi State. Boko Haram militants have attacked the town several times in the past, especially in 2011 and 2012. Nigeria's National Emergency Management Agency Thursday says it has recorded about 743,062 persons that are internally displaced by conflicts and natural disasters in various parts of the country. Sani Sidi, the Director General of the agency, in a statement said 676,975 of the affected persons were displaced by conflicts and 66,087 by natural disasters as at September 2014. City also called for urgent collective action by stakeholders to complement steps taken by the federal government to provide necessary assistance to the affected persons through NEMA. Nigeria's President Goodluck Jonathan has finally declared his interest to contest the 2015 presidential election. The president told the ruling People's Democratic Party leaders at the presidential villa in Abuja Thursday that he would procure the party nomination form before its deadline. The party had fixed October 31st as the deadline for those interested in contesting under its platform to pay for their nomination forms. The president has also set up a presidential declaration committee saddled with the responsibility of coming up with a formal program for his declaration. The committee is headed by a former Minister of Defense, Haliru Bello. The declaration would be held between November 7 and 15. Now, even though Jonathan's declaration of interest doesn't come as a surprise to many Nigerians, most people wanted him to openly declare his intention to run for the presidency. And I should add that, as a matter of fact, almost everyone had expected that the president was going to run. So he's basically saying nothing new. That's what some will tell you. Now, Nigeria's House of Representatives Thursday urged the Inspector General of Police, Sulaiman Abba, to investigate the September 22nd invasion of an Ado-Ekiti High Court by thugs. In a resolution in Abuja, the House called for the arrest of the suspects who were responsible for the assault of some of the judges in Ekiti State and the damage of court property. The House specifically condemned what it termed the barbaric action of the thugs in the unprecedented assault of Justices Isaac Ogunyemi and John Adeleye Ifeoluwa. Ifeoluwa Arowo Shoge, a member of the APC from Ekiti State, moved the motion at the session presided over by Deputy Speaker Emeka Hiodioha. The lawmaker said the attacks took place as security agents reportedly watched without taking any action to stop it, adding that the alleged failure of the security personnel to act led to the escalation of the crisis. We'll take a short break here, and News Now will return very shortly.
The search for the next Nigerian Investigative Reporter of the Year is on. The Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism, WSCIJ, requests entries for the 9th Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting from Nigerian professional reporters with investigative reports published between 4th October 2013 and 3rd October 2014. Categories: print, radio, online, local government, sports, television, photography, climate change, cartoon, health, and report women. Do you fit the bill? Submit your entries by the deadline Friday 24th October 2014 at the WSCIJ office, 55 Awolowo Way, Ikeja, Lagos. Visit www.wscij.org or call 080-2439-5083 for more details. Investigative reporting is the vital force for the restoration of human dignity.
Welcome back. The National Economic Council on Thursday endorsed the disbursement of 100 billion naira by the Central Bank of Nigeria for the establishment of mini ranches nationwide. Benue State Governor Gabriel Suswan briefing State House correspondents on the outcome of the monthly NEC meeting presided over by Vice President Namadi Sambo said the ranches would help to boost the production of meat and dairy in the country. He said the provision of the 100 billion naira by CBN was part of recommendations actually deliberated upon and later endorsed by NEC during the meeting. He also added that one of the key recommendations to CBN was to provide some seed funding where pilot schemes will be started, especially in the far north where already some infrastructure such as dams exist. He said the council agreed that all grazing reserves and cattle roads already encroached upon should be recovered and improved upon, taking into consideration the present-day realities. Nigeria may have been declared Ebola-free, but the federal government is not taking chances at all with the disease. The government Thursday says it has developed a national Ebola preparedness plan for the country aimed at checking possible fresh outbreaks of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. Supervising Minister of Health Alhaji Kaliru Al-Hassan said until the EVD is contained in the region and the world, chances of the virus being imported into the country was high. He also urged the nation to remain proactive rather than sit back as the war against Ebola was not over. Meanwhile, the minister said about 506 volunteers were ready for deployment to Liberia, Guinea and Sierra Leone, adding that 250 would be deployed soon. He urged state governments to further enhance their surveillance systems and increase public awareness on the disease. Now, as the United States closed the gap in its Ebola screening, an Ebola-free African country said it would begin checking visiting Americans for the disease. Rwanda's health minister said all travelers who have been in the United States or Spain, the two countries outside of West Africa that have seen transmission during the Ebola outbreak, will be checked upon arrival and must report on their health during their stay. No Ebola cases have been reported in Rwanda, which is in East Africa. But to ensure no cases are recorded, authorities say the country is also banning visitors who have recently traveled to Guinea, Liberia or Sierra Leone, the three countries at the heart of the outbreak. Rwandan authorities also say it would not allow visitors who had been to Senegal, which had a single case of Ebola. It, however, did not add Nigeria to its list. More than 4,500 people have died from Ebola in Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone. Quite interesting there, checking people, screening anybody at all who is coming in from the United States, Spain. I mean, it shouldn't just be one way. It's good Rwanda is doing this, honestly. I think it's good. Now, a day after a terrifying attack left one soldier and a gunman dead, Canada's Prime Minister has insisted his country will not be intimidated. Stephen Harper described the attacker as a terrorist and said the country's terror laws would be strengthened. The gunman named Michael Zaha Bibo shot and killed a soldier at an Ottawa War Memorial before entering Parliament. He was killed by Sergeant-at-Arms Kevin Vickers, who was greeted to a standing ovation on Thursday for his efforts when the Parliament reopened. Earlier this month, Canada announced plans to join the US-led campaign of airstrikes against Islamic State IS militants in Iraq. On Monday, a Muslim convert killed a soldier in Quebec. Harper described that early attack as a plot inspired by the Islamic State militant group. However, there's no official confirmation that any of this week's attacks are directly linked to Islamic State or the new military campaign. Harper said that the perpetrators will have no safe haven in Canada, but admitted the attacks showed that the country was not immune to terrorist attacks. To sports now, Nigeria's Super Eagles have dropped 5 places in the October FIFA ranking released Thursday morning. The senior national team dropped 5 places to 42nd in the monthly FIFA World Ranking. Early in September, the African champions emerged as the 38th best football playing team in the world. Fast forward to October and the team sits on the 42nd position. Now, their slow and steady fall didn't stop there. The Eagles are now the 9th ranked African side behind Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Tunisia, Ghana, Cameroon, Cape Verde, Egypt and Senegal following their poor run in the 2015 African Cup of Nations qualifiers earlier this month. Meanwhile, Germany maintains its spot as best football playing team in the world. Coming in next, Argentina and Colombia, who hold the 2nd and 3rd spots respectively, while FIFA World Cup host Brazil retained their 6th spot in the world. The next ranking will be released November 27, 2014. We'll wait and see how Nigeria does then. Now, one of the doctors who treated Michael Schumacher for nearly 6 months following his near-fatal skiing accident in France says the former Formula One champion has made some progress. Jean-Francois Payen, a physician at the Grenoble Hospital in France, where Schumacher was first cared for before he was later moved to Lausanne Hospital in Switzerland, however, warned that any recovery would take time. Payen, who recently visited the Formula One legend at his family home to check on his progress, predicted that he would recover within 3 years. 45-year-old Schumacher was skiing in the French Alps last December when he fell and hit his head on a rock. The 7-time world champion from Germany was placed in a medically induced coma to help reduce swelling in his brain as he underwent treatment in Grenoble and then in Lausanne, Switzerland. He has now been taken out of coma and is being looked after at his home in Gland, Switzerland, where Professor Payen still visits him to track his progress. Well, we can only wish this gentleman speedy recovery. We just don't want to lose him. We don't want to lose him. Not now. Not now at all. That's it on News Now. We thank you very much for watching. We're back again shortly.